Hi guys, welcome everybody. There is a benefit to doing a pre-recording. I don't have to deal with my internet. So I apologize to everybody and anybody who saw the video, saw me doing my magic trick of coming in and out. It was not my intention. I apologize to Whimsy and to Sheila and to Danny, who I didn't even know was going to be there. I was so excited, and how they put up with me, I do not know. I even got an email from Keith, so thank you very much. I unfortunately have no idea about anything when it comes to computers, so I forward that email to my husband, and he's doing all kinds of research and work, and hopefully try to figure out a way that we can do the lives, because I love doing the lives. I love being part of an ensemble, getting different views, getting different thoughts, seeing how other people view it, see it, and being able to talk and see things in real time. I mean, I don't get to read the messages, but just, Sheila sharing and then afterwards. So it's just, there's this energy, a different vibe that comes that I really love. So I was just so disappointed. So I apologize to everybody. I'm really sorry. And one of the things that Sheila was going to mention was about, why do you do tarots? And I thought, well, seeing that today I found out that Larry King passed away, I thought, yes, I'm going to start this off by just kind of doing like a little introduction as to where my journey has brought me and why I think and do the things I think and do. And you might be going, okay, how did she go from tarot to Larry King? So I'll explain. First, let's just say rest in peace to Larry King. God bless him, he passed away. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm thinking the majority of you probably do know, or if you don't, you have somebody like it in your own country or space, that talk show host, that was your internet before there was any internet. That was where you got your news about the upcoming stars or the politicians. It made you a full-rounded person to watch Larry King live. That was the way it was. And it's been a hard year of seeing so many people pass away. And I'm not just talking about celebrities, I'm talking about in our everyday lives. Now with coronavirus taking out so many loved ones and friends, and the ripple effect of like one person's life, how it affects so many others. And then what do you do with that? How do you deal with those emotions with so much loss? I mean, we all know that there's a beginning, middle, and end, however quick or however short that is. But there's a difference in this moment. We're all called to kind of look at our morality and say, well, what is all this about? What does this mean? So part of the reason why I started with tarot was the fact that when I was really young, I was born into an older family. I had a big family, lots of relatives, aunts, uncles, extended family. And in a very short period of time, from like 0 to 16, my family went from big to really small. My dad was 50 when I was born. My mom was 38. So a lot of my family, friends, everybody was a lot older, and I was considered an old soul. And when I was really young, I had a really strong kind of connection with, I guess you would want to call God or universe. I had this inner knowing and this faith and strength of belief that did not come from a church. It was just in me as a child. I had a lot of times where I would talk in my sleep, or mom saying, you woke up and you were just, with your hands up and your face up, praying and talking. And I can't explain it all. I just knew that I had this understanding and that I wanted to help people to have this understanding. And I mean, I was only a little, pipsqueak. And by the time I got to 18, 19, and I got my first set of tarot cards as a Christmas gift. And the dance started, this back and forth. Sometimes we fast danced because, life was fast and furious and you wanted to see what was happening. And other times you'd slow dance because life just kind of takes a little pattern and things are okay, and you don't necessarily need the tarot cards to kind of express yourself. So this went on for many, many years, and I really learned about the tarot card meanings, and I really felt like I had this understanding about tarot. Then I had my tower moment. That moment where my life turned upside down, left side right, right side left. It was a catastrophe. It was chaotic. And I found myself in a position where I was living the cliche of you have to lose yourself to find yourself. Everything that I had known had turned on its head. And I needed answers. I needed to figure it out. And again, I turned to tarot. And this time it didn't work. I'm ashamed to say I took my tarot set and right across the door, fell everywhere, all over, because I looked at the cards and it meant nothing. All these years and years and years of figuring it out, learning the meanings, nothing, blank. I was lost. So, you know when life really just causes you to pause for a moment, or two, or three? Sometimes the only thing you can do is survive, and sometimes you can't think about the whys or the hows or any of it. You have to just say, put this in a box, I'll deal with that later, and keep your head above water. Get up, breathe, eat, go to work, repeat. And sometimes I did sleep in between, and even that I forget about. So I found myself in this position where all of my usual tools, all of my coping skills, they were all gone. Not even tarot. And when I finally found myself being able to no longer have to keep treading to keep my head above water, I again picked up my tarot cards. I apologized to them, and my son had wrote on one of them, but that matters not. And I picked up my tarot cards and I separate them, and I put the majors on one side and all the other cards to the side. And I went, okay, I need to figure out what's going on with me, and I'm going to use the tarot to do it. I had a really good base of friends and family that I could talk to about things, but there was so much of just surviving and putting the boxes up on the shelf that all of a sudden those boxes were falling out, and I needed to deal with it. And tarot was the way that I dealt with it. So, I pulled out the first one, the Fool. Okay, how does that work in my life? The second one, the third one, and then I came to the Emperor and the Empress. Now, like many people, I'm sure you're thinking, that's probably the easiest cards in the whole deck. Your mother, your father, it's easy. And that was when my relationship with tarot changed, and it changed my whole perspective. Because I realized in that moment of studying tarot and having all these years and years and years of learning the surface, the scratch meanings, I realized that there were things, issues, patterns in my life, similar to lots of other people who can look at their life and see the patterns, or if you look at it, you will see the patterns. And I realized that a lot of my issues came from my parents. And I love them so much, and they were so good to me that I could not put them in this negative category. And then I realized it's not about negative or positive. Just like tarot cards, not about negative or positive. It's about looking at your life in a realistic and as truthful, honest way as you can. And I realized that although my father passed away, he passed away when I just turned 15. I was abandoned. All of a sudden, my protection was gone, and things got dark, and I was vulnerable. And I realized that I did not allow for those feelings to be okay, because I felt somehow that was a judgment on my dad when it wasn't. And that was when I got tarot. That was when the connection was made, and I realized this is the life events that happen to each and every one of us. Matters not about your religion, your race, none of it matters. You can be whatever person type you are. As long as you're a human, you will be able to connect with the tarot. And depending on how deep you want to go, you can work on yourself, work on your journey, get rid of some of the baggage that you have in your life. And if you have a reading with somebody, you might even realize you had baggage you didn't even know about. That's how it worked for me. And, realizing that the importance of it and how it really brings value because it brings clarity. But then with that comes the hard work of taking responsibility and then knowing better and doing better and all those. So, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong kind of, I think, joyful way of keeping checking on your life and trying to live the best life you can and working on it. The tarot to me is a really amazing way to get to know yourself and to get to know those around you and to be able to do it without judgment. And when Sheila had said, she sent a few questions and said, hey, we might talk about this in the live. Again, I was so disappointed because I wanted to be able to have these conversations and see how other people felt. And when with Larry King's passing and realizing that there's so many people passing away with coronavirus and there's all this hurt and sorrow and people are just not only having to deal with the normal life and death of life, but it's sort of everybody kind of, no matter if you're from Canada, US, Australia, Russia, Japan, we're all being faced with this idea of mortality. And that is really kind of the subject, the taboo subject that people don't want to really have to talk about because at the end of the day, none of us really know. Because until you're actually dead, we don't know what the other side. We can guess, we can wonder, and have our opinions and base it on our experiences and our religions and what have you. But it is my experience that through all my... when I was younger, like I said, I had a lot of older people and a lot of death and dying. And then I was really smart when I was young and I went into home care and I specialized in palliative care and Alzheimer's. And guys, when you are 18, 19, 20, you don't have the life experience to deal with those kind of complex things. But because of the old soul I had to be faced with watching people who were just living every day to die and watching people live every moment to the end, to the fullest. And it made no more sense to me then. And I was just like, what does all this mean? And then because when summer vacation would come, I went and I had to fill in for a week's vacation. And my role was to help out a mentally disabled couple. They both had Down syndrome, but they were married and they were living in the apartment of their parents. And my role was just to go in, help them kind of just get through their day and make sure that we did our little checklist. And I went in and they fought like everybody else. They had arguments and all the normal life events that we all have. The difference was that no matter what arguments, no matter how he got on her nerves and she'd roll her eyes and say, men, they never ever said, I want to leave you, I don't love you. It was always like, no matter what, I love you. There was just total acceptance. And I realized, wow, that's what love is. That's what God is. And I saw God and love in these two people. I saw God and love of total acceptance and realizing that's what we see and seek in each other. And it all made sense because when I was a child, I knew this. I didn't need anybody to tell me. I instinctually knew it. And with all the lessons that I've learned, and I try to live, and I'm human like everybody else, and make mistakes and, fly off the handle and, don't take my own advice and all that kind of good stuff. But it really formed a really strong basis of being able to be as judgmental-less, or it really helped form the basis for me to live my life trying to understand people and try to come from a place of not being judgmental. And if I did come from a place of being judgmental, why? And trying to, figure that out. And then when I figured that out for myself, I realized I could put the focus on other things, For example, putting yourself in other people's shoes. You look at the hangman. It's all about seeing things from a different perspective. And then I find myself, through our live reads, being able to say, well, think of the perspective of a black person. You know, as a white people, they'll say, oh, black on black crime, it's so high. And yet, white on white crime is the same, but yet we don't say it that way. And just trying to get those kind of thoughts, conversations. And these are ones that I've had many years ago, because the tarot opened up my eyes to wanting to learn about Buddha, learn from Tina Turner, learn from my Catholicism, learn from the people I met. And it created whatever form of person I am, but I'm there to accept and love people. Now, does that mean that I'm happy with everything everybody does? No. Does that mean I'm always the best person? No. But I at least have the basis for learning or trying or wishing or attempting to achieve some level of that just pure acceptance. I saw it with my parents. I saw it in that couple. And I realized that that's what I want in my life, whether that's with my husband, my child, my friend, my family, or with my new friends and family that I have. Because even though, you know, it may be weird that we're strangers really, but we're not. I see the God in you. That's how we're connected, these strings of God. And it's beautiful. So, okay, I spent way too long doing that, but I just wanted to kind of touch on that. I felt the want to kind of communicate, share, and I hope you're okay with indulging me on that. I didn't get to do it on the live. So, okay, I have a couple of things that I wanted to just check off my list. First, Donald Trump. There's talk about him starting a third party. I heard that on the Ring of Fire. I thought, well, there you go. We even talked about that in the reading. So we're going to have a quick look at Donald Trump and see how he's feeling right now. I want to mention about Dr. Fauci. Did you see the man when he came out, glasses free? He looked like he was 20 years younger. He was so relieved, and I realized that look on his face, that is what I felt, and that is what I see, because even, it's just, the temperature has been lowered. There's so much work to be done. There's going to be some crazy times coming up, but it feels good. It feels good. And thank you, Mr. Biden. President Biden made his first phone call to Canada. Thank you very kindly. See, we're best friends. Anyhow, so we're going to look. Oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. We're going to look at Donald Trump. I also want to look at Ivanka and Jared. I just want to check and see, is it possible that they have some kind of pocket pardon? Is there any possibility of that? And what was the third thing I was going to do? Oh no. Chris Wray from the FBI. He's staying in power. I just wanted to have a quick look and see, how is his time going to go? Is he going to be able to rebuild the FBI? Okay, you know, I don't even want to put boundaries on it. I just want to see, what are the energies around Chris Wray staying in the FBI? What is that going to mean? So, I do go on and sorry. Alrighty. Let's go. So, Donald Trump, how you feeling? What's going on, muscle? What's happening now? I'm sure you must be filling your diapers watching all these people just salivating to get you under the microscope. So let's have a look and see. Just a quick read on Donald Trump. What's happening with him? All right. Okay. Lordy Lord. Okay. Here we've got the 10 of Pentacles. It is reversed. Here he's feeling the family is upset. I'd say there is so much anger. There's so much fighting behind the scenes that we have no idea about. This is him just, you know what, I just want to move on. His whole idea, he doesn't even see the writing on the wall as much. He has moments or lapses of clarity where he goes, ooh, but he just doesn't like that feeling. So he's like, nope, shut it down. So here he is. He's fighting with his family, but he's just shutting down and saying, nope, I want to move on. Then he's like the King of Pentacles. It's all about, how can I use my position that I had as the president to make as much money and as much ability towards trying to get his life going on the other side without having any responsibility towards the past. It's like buying his way somehow. And you know, another interesting thing, when I looked at the card, I saw the pentacle, but then my eyes went to his hand that's holding up the structure, if you can see it. There's connections having to do with the White House that's on his mind, his way of making money. Guys, and you know, I go back to my Ten of Pentacles, because this could be arguing with his family, wanting to go forward, but this could also be the indication that he is turned on the Republicans. This could be an indication of his want for that third party. I think it could end up being a case of having some kind of news organization, or you know, something of with dealing with communications, and him trying to become stronger, or he wants to become in a position of power that's not president, but he can wield the same power that he has as president. So that's going to be his ultimate goal. How quickly can I make this happen? Because he wants to be a thorn in Biden's side. He wants to be a thorn in the Republican side. He wants to be a thorn in anybody's side who's not on board and with Donald Trump. Because at the end of the day, you've got him feeling worried. His resources aren't there. He doesn't have the choice to go away and say, hey, I'm just going to go over here and retire and finish. This is a case of him just not having the financial stability. He has to do this. This is the ultimate jealousy and pride of knowing that people would turn on him, knowing that he hasn't done it. He is the ultimate loser. And he is envious and jealous of everything and anybody. But instead of using that as a way for him to want to do better for himself, this is him getting his knives out. He wants to go after people. He just wants to try to create as much conflict and as much trouble as he possibly can. And there's going to be this continuous, you know, we kind of feel like, oh, things are quiet right now. But the torment is going to start again. He's going to be on display again. Ooh. Okay, so it all comes down to pride. It all comes down to Trump being his own worst enemy, and he is just going to continue to just be part of and not know when to just go away. He just doesn't know. So, okay, let's not talk about him because we have a reprieve from him. Unfortunately, I think he is going to be part of our conversation for a long, long time to come. So, let's look at Ivanka and Jared. I just want to see, is there any possibility that they have a pocket pardon or some kind of maybe BS paper that they're going to try to do up? Because I don't know, something just seems off with that. There's something just, and you know, Marco Rubio is soon going to be having to go up for re-election, and Ivanka might be trying to plan to go into that position. And we've done readings before where we said Trump's doing this because he wanted to set up his generational legacy of Trump power. And Ivanka's next in line because, I mean, to him, that's his female version of himself. Okay, let's have a look. Ivanka. You know what? I'm not even going to look at Jared. I want to just look at Ivanka. Is it possible she has a pocket pardon? And is she going to go for political position? Maybe with after Marco Rubio, who's a little doofus. Okay, you know what? I think she has some kind of pocket pardon, if there's such a thing, or some kind of security, or some kind of way where they have set her up to keep her on the sideline to not get in trouble. Because this is my yes card, yes. And you see the character there is pregnant. I still think there's a chance that she could end up being pregnant. Her going forward is all about wanting to create a new project. She wants to move forward. She's at the beginning of her political career. Yes, I think she's going to go for political position, and I wouldn't be shocked if it is with Marco Rubio, because then she has the Six of Pentacles. This is giving and receiving help. She's going to use the momentum that she had with her father. And as far as she can see, and as far as she's concerned, this is a win-win situation. So, Lordy Lord, she is looking like she's going to go for it. I don't think that I can handle her going into power. I can't. It's like, okay, you know what, I'm wrong. I want to be wrong about that one. But anyway, I'm just putting it on the books because something's not right there, guys. So we're going to look at Chris Wray, FBI director. I'm just going to pull out half dozen cards just to see what's surrounding him. Let's have a look at the overall feeling around Chris Wray. What's going to be the first 3 to 6 months. Let's see what that's going to look like. Okay. Okay, Chris Wray. So, right off from the very beginning, he's inspired. He is ready to make the change. He is ready to get to work, and he's at the very beginning. This is going to be a long process. This is the ace. He is at the very, very beginning, but this is very positive because it's at the beginning of wanting to get things done. He's going to be starting new projects. He's going to be very active pretty much right away. The issue that's on top of his head that's worrying him or keeping him feeling a little stressed out is that against him there is a feeling of jealousy, a feeling of people putting obstacles in his way to get things done. These could be obstacles that were put there in the past, and there is going to be money issues. That is going to be Chris Wray's going to talk about some kind of major money issue that has that's affecting his job. Underneath it, we have Judgment. So here, this is coming to clarity. This is really getting to work and saying, okay, what do we need to do? This is prioritizing things. This is ensuring that you have purpose in what you do. But it's also a beautiful message for America of this second chance. This is a time to renew the FBI, to put the belief back into the FBI. This is about really benefiting. Chris Wray is going to do the work that's necessary to rebuild the reputation of the FBI. So, in the past, there has been separations. He has been in arguments and on having a different opinion than those around him. But that's what's in the past. That he's current is the ace. and he's want to do something. But then for his future, I've got the Ten of Wands, but it's reversed. So here it's saying that there's going to be problems ahead. There's going to be delays. And this is certainly going to be doing with travel delays. I mean, I don't think you have to be psychic to know that, but if you see your Ten of Wands reversed, this often refers to travel delays. And this could be for him in a personal way that, it could be the case of he wants to get things done, but he's being delayed because there's so many things in the past that have been set up to keep things delayed. Trump and them have set it up so that, it's not going to be as easy of, we unearthed this, so here we understand X, Y, Z. It's going to be a case of having to try to take each one out and figure it out and start from the very beginning to find out how this, came to pass. And there's definitely a defensive mode here that they're going to have to defend against what Trump and them have put there in their way. Trump and all his enablers has certainly done their part to ensure they put as many obstacles, not just in Joe Biden's way, but in Joe Biden and the whole committee. It's like they've set up not grenades, but they've set up, Lady Diana was the one who really represented for, now I'm going to sound stupid. The landmines. Sorry, guys. I feel as though the people with Trump, the ones that are really into creating the most problems they can to try to destroy democracy, and I'm talking about the ones that had help from Russia and from all the participating parties, they have created little landmines. And I think this is what the Ten of Wands reversed for Chris Wray is, that he is going to have to come across and dismantle, and this takes time and it's causing delay, and these are done on purpose. I just want to know, will the FBI under Chris Wray, do they have a plan to take down Trump, his affiliates? Is he part of a secret plan behind Trump? Or has the FBI have some kind of secret plan? Because from the very beginning, I've always said or felt that there's something going behind in the shadows, good and bad. Trump representing, especially if he gets this third party, the Third Reich. Come on, guys. Not going to go there. Okay, so Chris Wray, there's a feeling of giving up too soon, so feeling of giving up too soon. So I think the wheels of justice are going to turn really slow, and they are going to be really nitpicking about what they should and shouldn't bring forward in order to be able to not to keep Donald Trump safe, or not to not go after him, but to keep the United States safe. Because when you expose Trump, you're exposing the states. And I really get a strong feeling that there's something to that. There's something to protection of the United States. And there's a lot of financial setbacks here. I strongly feel that they're going to get in there, and Chris Wray is going to expose some kind of money scheme or something that's outside of the norm. Interesting. Alrighty, so I can see by the clock on the wall that it's time to bid you one and all goodbye, goodbye, so long, farewell, farewell, adieu, adieu.
Well, I see by the clock on the wall that that it's time to bid you one and all goodbye.
Goodbye.
So long.
So long.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Adieu.
Adieu.
Be good.
Stay well.
Bye-bye.
Keep warm.
Relax.
At ease.
Take care.
So, as always, my dear sweet friends, I have our Unity candle lit for each and every one of us. I thank you for your time. And again, I apologize for my technical difficulty, and I won't be working on it, but my husband will be. And I thank you for all your comments, your likes, your emails, your just, you know how much I think of you. You know how great I think you are. All right, till next time. Cheerio. Take care.